Greetings, fellow lovers of the Bible, as we meet to consider the fifth great antiphon of Advent for December 21st, which begins with the words, O Orient. O Oriens. This is a mysterious little word, Oriens, that starts our antiphon. It could be a thing, it could be a place, or it could be a time. Let's make the case for this being the time, that Oriens here means the time of dawn. This antiphon was originally written for use at evening prayer after the sun had gone down. They had candlelight, lamplight, and torchlight, and that was about it. And it was dark. The Dark Ages were dark. The Middle Ages were dark, and the Renaissance was dark, and we live in brighter times now. Now let me make the case for the place, the East, where dawn rises. In what sense would we be talking about the East here? The direction of prayer has been historically very important in religions. God told Moses to pitch the tent of the ark to the east of the camp and have all of the people go to the doors, to the openings of their tents, and face toward the ark while they were saying their prayers in first morning. In other words, they were pointing towards the east, toward the rising sun. This is the original orientation of prayer in Judeo-Christian Islamic tradition, towards the east. However, by the time of Daniel, Jews had begun to pray toward the temple rather than towards the eastern sun. So Daniel in Babylon opened his windows toward the west and said his prayers toward the place where the temple had been. The first apostles, St. Peter and St. Paul, offered their prayers towards Jerusalem because they were still following the Jewish practice. And it has become kind of a commonplace that Christian worship is supposed to face toward the east, but I do not see this documented in the archaeological evidence. In our diocese, we have churches facing every which direction. Malta faces south, so the entry is toward the north. St. Francis Xavier Church in Circle faces north with the entry to the south. But St. Francis de Sales in Ritchie faces west with the entrance to the east. St. John the Baptist Church in Jordan faces east with the entry to the west. Yes, somebody faces east. So churches both ancient and modern have not consistently followed the idea that Christian worship should be oriented toward the east. In Christianity, the direction of prayer is not so important because God is everywhere. He is all around us. He is to the east and the west of us, to the north and to the south of us. He is beneath us, holding us up. He is above us, sustaining us from on high. No matter which direction we look, God is there. Just pray, Paul says. Pray constantly. Pray when you're facing east, north, south, or west. Just pray. So if it's not about the time of prayer, pray always, St. Paul says. And if it's not about the place or direction of prayer, pray everywhere, pray in any direction, then maybe Oriens means the thing, the sun itself. Pointing in this direction toward the sun itself being the metaphor are the next two phrases in the antiphon taken from Wisdom and Malachi. splendor lucis aeternae, et sol justitiae. These are two tiny parables. Splendor of light and sun refer to the earthly dawn, but light eternal and justice refer to heavenly realities to which the brilliance of earthly dawn points. The rest of the O antiphons call for the Lord to come with a more leisurely chant. Veni. But this one has special urgency. Veni. This antiphon seems to end with the same phrases as yesterday's antiphon about dwellers in darkness and the shadow of death, but appearances can be deceiving because the governing imperative is different. That one had the verb lead out dwellers in darkness and the shadow of death, which is from Psalm 107. But this one has to shine on dwellers in darkness and the shadow of death, and that comes from Luke chapter 1, the Canticle of Zachary. Et illumina sedentes in tenebris et umbra mortis. The birth of Jesus Christ was a new dawn for all of humanity. Someone came who shone a bright light upon the possibilities of a human race not governed by the law of the jungle, not governed by dog-eat-dog vengeance, not founded in the most cynical and self-serving of motives. Finally, someone to lead us into a kind of humanity that has truly grown from our forested jungle roots. People talk about the dawn of the human race. It was the birth of Jesus. Oriens splendor lucis aeternae et sol justitiae. Veni et illumina sedentes in tenebris et umbra mortis.